Assalamu alaikum everyone and welcome back to the Millennium Voices. Today we have a very fun and exciting guest with us. It is Sir Tariq Amin. He's been kind enough to come in and talk to us about our fashion, image and styling program. And it's been, an absolute honor, sir, having you here. And you're, I think, somebody who specifically, definitely in the fashion industry, but I think anybody who's fun, who likes a lively personality is a really big fan of yours. So thank you so much for coming over today.
Pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me. I look forward to
just seeing how it turns out.
Next half an hour with you.
Yes. So, sir, straight off the bat, you're one of the biggest identities that we have in the fashion world in Pakistan.
Size is everything.
No, it's not just the size that I'm talking about. Even though that is not at all what I'm going for. It's your personality.
I'm just trying to be funny.
You are
funny guy. I am a funny guy. A lot of people think I'm a very serious guy, but I am a funny guy.
No.
Sorry to cut you off.
Being, the fun personality and bringing out all this character, what exactly led you down to the path? And I'd like to add another part here. So, do you think that your personality just sort of shaped that career for you and made it more fun?
My personality has always been a part of my upbringing. It's a part of who I am, who I was allowed to become. I went to the American school. I graduated from there. I went to college in America. I picked up my craft from America. 80s made, it was a very different time than
what we're living
in. It is now. It was a very different time in Pakistan. I'm Pathan, and good Pathan boys don't become hairdressers. So it was a big challenge. Personality has a lot to do with it because I have a very strong personality in the sense that I believe what I believe in. I try to achieve. I'm a doer. I like to,
just go out and get the things.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm a kind of. I mean, now I would say I'm very well balanced. Before it was always a little bit of rocky roads here and there, but just generally I think being when you have a passion for what you do, you can excel in it, and I've had that passion since in the arts at least since I was very young. I was a super artist. I mean, I can paint you right now. Just give me some.
I'd love to see that.
Give me some, and that was a natural talent. So makeup came very easily to me, and hair was just a natural progression from the makeup. There's no point doing the
makeup when you can't touch another canvas altogether.
The hair is part of the picture, and then obviously styling was also a part of that picture. So that's, something that you learn that with time. You learn that through, watching your mom grow up and doing 60s hairdos and identifying what 60s are, and then learning about fashion history, which is a very important aspect in an institution to teach to students.
Certainly, yes.
Not only history of what has happened in the world with fashion, but now we have, I just spoke to the dean earlier on to introduce a book into the curriculum for TMUC, and it's the first book which is called The History of Fashion in Pakistan, and I'm very proud to be also in the book.
A part of it, yeah, a very big part of it.
I wish we had when I was starting out in this industry. It documents chronologically from the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, all those people that
to this day.
Not till today. There's going to be a part 2. I think it's still the 90s. So it's quite comprehensive, and it's something that all the millennials should. We have our own heroes. We have our own. Especially icons in fashion, icons of style, icons in fashion. So I feel that our people need to, look and learn about those people, as opposed to, they should know who Alexander McQueen is as well, and what Dior is, And
but just staying true to your roots.
Yes,
you know,
trying to
your own culture, your identity.
Yes, at the end of the day, they're designing clothes and our styling and hair and makeup or whatever in Pakistan. So they should have an understanding of our history of fashion, the subcontinent.
I think that's very important. I think just like you were mentioning about the book and everything, you yourself have been a very big part of what is present in the fashion world in Pakistan today. So, and you've been a part of the industry for so many years that I think you're somebody who can very well just sit back and, sort of give you an analysis of the 80s, 90s and so on and so forth.
Because we've been through it.
You've been through it. And you've been the ones that have really brought it out to what it is today. So you've been the people that have really worked and put in the hard work to evolve fashion in Pakistan to what it is today. How do you feel about that change? What are the positive changes that you see coming out today?
At our time, in the beginning, there was few, and a very handful of us. We were coined as the style mafia. We were coined as all kinds of things, but we were having fun. Now it's become a very competitive, it's not as nice as when we were going through it.
It's not as pretty.
It is not as pretty. And I think the quality has gone down. All the stuff because of such and the creativity is there, but like I feel the end results, when we look at, there's no more magazines. There's nothing to aspire to, want to achieve. Ye maine karna hai, iska cover karna hai.
Goal, yeah.
This is my goal, to do the cover of. Now, everything is digital, everything is touched up. All the models look the same, the clothes look the same, the styling looks the same. There is no styling. We've been doing styling for the last 40 years, but nobody gave us credit for it. Today, I am a stylist. I was a stylist before a lot of these
The word
were born.
existed, yeah. You were,
so,
yeah.
Let's just say it how it is. So I really do think that it's now the clothes wearing the people and the name and the brand and the this and the that. There's too much.
There's labeling going on.
There's, you can see it. I can see it, where you can see some of our work, which has a timeless quality about it. I would like my work to remain in that context, for it to be classic, for it to be timeless, for it to speak forever. And I think images that
we've seen that your work does speak to not just to who you truly are, but the person who's with you, getting styled. They embrace their natural beauty. There's nothing set up about it in a way as to sort of define sort of like the limitations that society puts on you, rather than just be yourself. That's what I've always seen.
I've always been myself. I'm a bit large to hide.
But I think that's it's so much more than that. It's when you're true to who you are, and your
helps.
work comes out and speaks
that helps.
Yeah.
I've gotten away with. They said that aise kabhi kisi ne nahi kiya. I was like, gee, thanks. So I've gotten away with a lot because the way we approach that thing, there's nothing vulgar. There's nothing. It's a damn hot image, but there's nothing vulgar, or it doesn't have there's
acceptance in it in a beautiful way.
There is something that you can digest. A lot of things that we did in the 80s, like I think we did much wilder things back then than we do now.
But that's conceptually rather than visually.
Society has become much more conservative, really. The fashion pages we did in the Herald and in Newsline 30 years ago, were, if you could reprint them today, they could easily be reprinted because there's a timelessness about the styling, the clothing, the photography, everything. All of it is one big package. Like, this cannot be done unless they're there and the lighting is there and they're making us look good. I want to look thin.
Yeah, I want to look like this. Yeah,
stuff like
There's
that.
There's always like a template that's already in mind. There's no creativity coming.
So today, you're like, एक आप इसको इधर खड़ा कर दें, green screen पे पीछे वो भी बन जाएगी, makeup भी नहीं लगाया है, वो भी कर लेंगे हम.
We'll take care of everything. Yeah.
Then you don't.
So where's the originality?
Then you don't need me. Thanks very much, and have a good shoot, and I'll go and I'm going to go hang
Bye
at
bye.
the beach.
Yeah, I'm on my way. Yeah.
So, where's the creativity? Where's the individuality? It's all post and AI. Everybody takes कि बस ये छाप लो, ऐसा शूट करके दे दो, एक सेट बना देते हैं, उसको खड़ा कर देते हैं, टक 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 टक. It's like catalog photography. We used to wake up at 5 in the morning. अभी तो वो
there's no
5 बजे सुबह. That's the best light. If you want like that, you don't shoot.
That's actually very true. That is the best
It's
light.
the best light. So you want to do a good shoot and you want a beauty shoot, you'd get up at that morning and you
put in the hard work.
Put in the hard
hours.
work. It's
Yeah.
never killed anybody. And that's, you have to wait for the golden hour. It's a 5-minute window. And if you miss that, it's like, मुझे बस गर्मी लग रही है और मैं भूखी हूँ. And then like you're like, बेटा जरा अभी सैंडविच मंगवाते हैं, तुम बैठ जाओ. अभी सूरज का इंतजार करना है. वो पोस्ट में हो जाएगा. I'm like, I'm not from that time. I'm from an analog time. I'm a non-digital person. I don't send emails. I don't know how to update my phone. If something goes wrong with the TV, I'll pick up a book or read a magazine. Like I'm not a techie person. So our work is what you learn by the book and how you go about it, through learning. Learning is a process. Yes, absolutely.
Everything goes in. There's nobody else to fix your problem.
500 pictures. Who has the time to sit and edit them? In our time, we had 24 pictures in a roll of camera. We took 6 pictures and hopefully one of them was perfect. So you had to do your homework. You had to be able to say,
that's where hardcore knowledge comes in as well.
Well, absolutely.
Yeah.
You have to have an understanding. I have an understanding of everything. Lighting, sound, absolutely.
If you're doing it the organic way, you're really putting in your basic.
Well, also I think at the collabs are a big thing with the millennials and the kids of today. We did collabs before the word was even invented. So you had to find somebody who shared your aesthetics and that kind of and that could read what you were trying to emote. Like in an image, with a feeling you want to get across.
But I think that it's very important to point out that now the collaborations that are being done by...
It's because of money.
It's for the sake of just being able to say, It's not the fun, the creativity, the sense of style.
That's what I said. No, we came from the time of fun and creativity. We were not doing it for... back in the day, the girls used to get 500 rupees to do a shoot. 1,000 rupees to be...
standing there in the sun.
Like in a show.
Time. Yeah.
With 6 outfit changes. So, आजकल तो मैं इतने लेती हूँ एक जोड़े के लिए. And I'm sure the next thing I will say is going to be censored, so I won't say it.
We're not going to censor anything. I think we're really trying to just put forward an image of what it is like to be a part of this profession for the young generation.
It's a very tricky situation. You meet the right people, work with the right people, you'll get somewhere. There's a lot of substandard work happening in the name of modeling. There's lots of seedy stuff that takes place. Lots of girls who are girls, boys. Everybody is either harassed one way or another. So it's a field that is, you have to constantly look out for, how you're conducting yourself. Be professional, be on time, don't be late, don't get into, like shady
business
with doing shoots and stuff, because, it's a very short-lived thing. For girls, it's easier because, they can last a little bit longer. For boys, it's not. It's like a window of, 2 to 3 years if you're of the right height and the right body. If you're good looking, it may last 5 years, because there's always somebody younger, better looking, hotter, all of
so
that.
on and so forth.
Just waiting to be discovered. So, the competitiveness, and it we are settling, and as an audience, I think, we have settled for a lot of mediocrity, ke chalega. So I'm not from that chalega scene. That narrative doesn't work with me. You need to either,
right, yeah, work on it. Yeah.
For a model, we do model hunts, and everybody is like, aap to bahut strict hai. I said, beta, we want to have people that can perform on an international level. So I will not take somebody, if you're not 6 foot and you're 5'11" and you have a six-pack, sure, it'll work. But if you're 10 pounds overweight and you're 5'11", I'm not going to take you. It's just that simple. Because the other person is ready. Come back next year, lose the weight, and
to work on yourself.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So you have to be able to say no to people. Over here, it's, everybody is yes for everything. ये भी हो सकता है, वो भी हो सकता है. तो फिर क्या नहीं हो सकता है? आप 5'2" की बच्ची को नहीं कह सकते कि आप मॉडल बन सकती हैं, because आप नहीं बन सकती हैं.
There are certain limitations. You need
sure.
You need to recognize that there are certain limitations.
Absolutely.
That exist.
You should have the right height, the right, your body language. It all is very, very important. It's less work for the training then. And when you are introducing these people, they have at least their look should be like a model. You know what I'm saying?
I absolutely agree.
Everybody looks at themselves in the mirror and says,
they find themselves the most beautiful person. Yeah.
But that's what Instagram teaches you. Like a professional person who's from the industry and knows their work, they will never say कि yes, जी आप model बन सकती हैं.
No, but what? So these are like the practicalities that we look at every single day when we're part of the industry, right? And so institutions like TMUC, we're offering bachelors in fashion, image, and styling, and that is to basically inspire your young entrepreneurs to be creative, to go after their goals. What do you think is the role that education specifically plays in sort of nurturing that mindset? Because we want to take away the narratives that don't fit in with the pure sort of like, core of what it means to be in this fashion world. We want it to be as authentic as it was before. We want it to really be something that you work for every day.
I think that, kids they're wonderful. That's why I'm here, because the next generation needs to be inspired. They need to have their own role models. I think that's very, very important. Because we know the industry, we know we've worked here.
Yeah.
हमने अपनी, इधर जीना है, इधर we are going to die here, where, our work is here, it's been dedicated. I've been grooming this country, trying to make it look better for the last 45 years
now. Yeah, and we've all been here to
so,
see it.
So they need to be inspired by our stories. They need to be inspired by the education that you are offering them. You know what I'm saying? And we are a part of that. So, for them to have that opportunity is, kids are who you make them. It's like having children yourself. You make them who they are. They can just put in the effort and the work. But if they've taken that choice and they've taken that path, then to, guiding them is everyone's
duty. It really is, yeah.
And giving them the best of what our country has to offer, we have the best photographers, designers, models. Look at the legacy of the supermodels that has been there. Look at the amount of class that these girls have. They have carried on, and they're all doing so amazingly with their own, Vinny has her own brand. Everybody is still, Alia Zaidi is thriving in Hong Kong, still doing shoots, still looking beautiful. So, these people are legends. We need to keep them on the pedestal that they have earned.
And
you have to earn it. Sometimes
it's. I absolutely agree. I think it's to value them and to really hold them as icons that are there to guide you, show you. We do. We don't need to go to the rest. I think this is where we need to sit the younger generation down.
There you are. You have to do an icons TMUC billboard. Cool? Do not edit that out. You heard it here on the podcast. We're going to do it. Yes.
Very soon. And it'll be fun. I think it's so important.
Fun is a part of fashion.
That's what
And
seems to be missing,
the fun
though.
has gone from fashion.
I mean, I'm not exactly a part of the fashion world, but I've seen that.
It used to be so much fun, and it's not that much fun anymore.
It feels more like a task.
It's
something that
like
needs to get
the dead horse. You want
to. Chalo, kam pe.
Bas, us बेचारे ने उसकी भी बस होगी. Fashion should be fun. It should be about reinvention. It should be about collaboration. It should be vibrant. It should be. It has become none of those. It has become yes, and everybody is there to pull you down instead of helping you rise. If you don't,
it's become a little nasty.
It has unfortunately, and like I said, there's no more fun left in fashion.
And I think that when they're younger, the younger generation, when they tell their parents that we want to get into fashion, the very reason that they quote to their parents is that we just want to be us. Let us be us. Let us have the fun that we want to truly have. Let us express ourselves. And that's exactly what a lot of people seem to stop doing once they come into this industry.
Because there's so much expectation on them. They have to, I come from a time of individuality. Today, if you see that there's, everybody is a bit of a cookie cutter of each other. They have the same, social media has, सबका दिमाग जरा
खराब हो गया.
नहीं, जरा फिर गया. You're your own channel, you're your own makeup artist, you're your own,
You're a one man doing everything.
You're doing the recording yourself. I'm an expert at this. You're like, I'm like,
Yeah, it doesn't work that way.
No, it doesn't. So people have this. It's not. I love the mistakes that I made when I made them. I would never repeat them. But to stick to your identity, you have to be very strong as a person. And some of the people that are entering the field, I feel are not as strong as they seem that they would like to be. Because it's a very unforgiving business. One lashed that's out and there'll be like 10 people will say, lash nikla hua hai. I know because I've done it.
Yeah, you're underneath the microscope.
I'm a human.
Right, yeah.
I used to always be overcritical, especially about my own work, though, of course. But I used to watch other people's work like a hawk. Like,
you got that wrong, yeah.
But that everything has changed. There's no more magazines. There's none of that old school stuff anymore where you used to, wait for a whole month कि जी अभी ये shoot होगा, अभी ये उसकी. Everything now is
how it turns out.
It's looking good. It's looking good. Yeah. The pictures are looking very nice. Yeah, we'll fix the hair. Don't worry. I'm like, okay, then can I go home now? So you don't need me here. So I don't think a robot is going to take over my job with AI coming into the picture. But you can do your own ad campaign on AI, whether it's the beauty or selling.
Just about anything at this point, yeah. It doesn't make a difference, yeah.
It all can be generated. So it's becomes generic, Fashion
it's like a copy and paste method of sorts.
Fashion is becoming generic. Nobody's using their own individual creative ideas. They're hiring creative people, supposedly, who are just going to another brand or another artist and saying, ye iske upar chhap dein aur ye uske upar chhap dein aur.
So for the younger generation that is again doing programs like fashion, image and styling, social media is going to be a very big part of learning where that goes, how to take that as a useful tool and sort of, let that be a part of their work. What would you recommend to the younger generation that's coming in and really stepping into the field? Just how to carry themselves. What are the tools that they should be using? And what sort of, personality traits are the ones or the skills that they need to sharpen?
I think it depends on the individual. Some people are going to shine. You can tell a lambi race ka ghoda, at least I can, from a mile. Somebody that just has the right work ethic, the right, you have to stick to that also. It's not something you can do. Consistency is very important. You have to have the talent. You have to have a little bit of the gift of the gab. You have to be able to communicate with. This is a people-pleasing business. Whether it's styling, whether it's designing clothes, whether it's hair and makeup, whatever, you have to be a people pleaser. So you have to pander to other people's egos. You do.
That is at times really tough to do. But I think when you have a personality like yours, I would never feel like, I feel like you're there to make me look more beautiful.
Yeah.
At times, I don't know what's good for me.
If you don't look good, I don't look good. Remember that. So I take my work very personally as well. And I always work with an individual. I think you need to communicate. Communication is very important, where you sit and, deal with your client in a professional manner, where you can convince them to
let go of any,
able to trust you with whatever decision, the color, the shape, the cut, also keeping in mind your ideas.
But this is the collaboration that we're really talking about.
Well, communication is a key part of that. If you're not able to communicate and get your message across so it'll be very difficult for them to.
Yeah. I think the tricky part in your job would be to be able to tell somebody that, hey, I like your ideas, but this is where, something I can add.
Sure. I mean, a lot of people think that they you can, when you're petite, for example, you can't wear what Giselle Bündchen wears. You can't. It doesn't work. So, you need to
accept
have that, accept that, and understand that as well. When you are a double XL, not everything is going to look good on me. Not everything is going to fit me. Not every brand makes sizes of double X to double XL. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So have acceptance.
You have to have an acceptance of
whatever your circumstances are, whatever your choices
for your body type, for your individual look, whatever you want to do. So working with people, also experience gives you a lot of experience is the key to understanding, because you've worked with so many different kinds of people, so many different kinds of fabric, so many different kind of hair textures, that you have an understanding of that better than the person who you're dealing with. So you can offer a better insight. You can, and best of all, you can produce the result. So visually, I mean, we were discussing that we were going to do some workshops here.
Yeah, that would be
at
really
TMUC,
TMUC,
like a couple of days, which are visual, which you can actually see. We're going to take some of your alumni. We're going to take some of your teachers, the admin people you see every day, and we're going to dress them up, and we're going to bring them to do a little presentation in front of the students.
Fun.
And they're going to be totally made over. New hair, new makeup, but for the kids to understand why we did that. And I actually want the kids' input. I want them to design the clothes. But I will
feel inspired. I
will give them the brief. I will work with them. I will ask their opinion, but I will help them make sure that it has my little bit and say, yeah, okay, well, I think that'll look damn good on her or damn good on him. So, this is a visual business. It is about वो कहते हैं ना कि first impression is the last impression. It is. When I look at you, I'm looking at everything. The toes, the fingertips, the hairdo, I'm looking at it's registering everything. So that way I can put a picture in my head of you.
Okay, what is the best option?
And what can we do with this? Yeah. Now, if this person was my sister, my wife, my mom, how can I make this person look better? And it also is a lot to do with your aesthetic. My aesthetic can be completely different to your aesthetic. It can be completely different to his aesthetic. So you have to be able to read that in the person and say, will this person be able to carry it? You know, you can buy Gucci, but you can't carry
Gucci. Carry Gucci. Yeah, there are very few people.
You know, that can... वो जो होता है, just because you are wearing this big logo doesn't mean you can carry it. और यहाँ पे तो अब तो लोगो का ही गेम है, बस that's it. कि इतने भी जूते थे भी लोगो थे, इतने भी लोगो थे, everywhere. लाओ जी लाओ.
It should show.
Less is more. I am from that, generation. You know, if you wear it, yes.
Elegance, just wearing yourself.
That's the timelessness that I'm talking about.
And also to know that the makeup and the hair and the clothes and everything that's putting in, it's to help you shine brighter.
Of course, it is. At the end of the day, like I said, if you don't look good, I don't look good.
So, what would you say are the absolute defining highlights of your career?
Oh God, there's so many. We'd have to have another program for it. But one of the first one was when I did Benazir's makeup for her wedding.
Yeah.
At that time, everybody from my family was just like, hobby hai, he'll grow out of it, he'll join the family business. But once I did her makeup for her wedding, she chose me over. She had different trials with all the stylists and all the makeup artists in Pakistan, and she chose me over everybody else. Which is a big honor, obviously. And, ugly.
Stunning, I think.
No, she made a beautiful, beautiful bride. Faiza Sami had done the Joda.
Yeah.
And, everybody was, it was written up in Vogue magazine.
Yeah.
After that, and my name came in.
Just shooting for the stars from there on, yeah.
No, then it was my son, the artist. So it was, it was definitely a huge moment. It was a big stepping stone, a big push for my career, and it just opened the world.
Opened up the world for you. Very, very true. But I think it's very important to look back at these moments, because it's also the hard work in you that you sort of put in.
Right.
And the recognition, there are a lot of people who might...
It was huge.
It broke every border that,
I'm very proud. I can say that from the 80s till now,
You're living that high.
3 generations ho gayi,
Yeah.
I've done the mommy's makeup, the daughter's makeup, and now the granddaughter's makeup.
So, as well. That's beautiful. That's
3
beautiful.
generations, and that's
beautiful.
Full circle.
I think, yeah. Mashallah. And now coming back to the program that TMUC is offering, Fashion, Image and Styling. What do you think that programs like this, because no other institution is currently putting out these programs. So what do you hope that our students are going to learn, and what sort of presence are they going to have in the fashion?
I think they're going to benefit a lot, because all these things are interconnected.
Yeah.
So you're opening up a huge world to them.
Yeah.
And the world is your oyster, as they say. You
Certainly.
can get... So if they learn about things like fashion, okay, that's from draping to... If they're doing a shoot, for example, they have to know about how to style that thing.
Yeah.
What are the accessories? What was the lighting? What is this being influenced by? Is it a revival of a 60s look, a 70s look, a 40s look?
Yeah.
Is it Desi? Is it Western?
Yeah.
Is it Bollywood? Is it Hollywood? I mean, so you need to know
the palette itself.
You need to know your stuff.
Yeah.
You need to know the history. You need to know the icons.
Yeah.
And that's what this is all about.
This is all about.
This
certainly.
is going to be giving them a complete picture of the industry, not just something specific like I can cut a dress and I can make a blouse.
Yeah.
So, you can make that blouse, you can know how to retail it, you know how to sell it, you know how to market it, you know how to shoot it, you know how to style it, it is
There's everything, yeah.
So, if you guys are the pioneers And here are the pioneers, and here we go with the
collaboration. Yeah. All right. Well, it was absolutely great having you on.
My
Would
pleasure.
love to have you on again.
Thank you.
Whenever you're available, because I think your wisdom is something, it goes beyond fashion. It's not just in the world of fashion. Just the fact that you need to run after your dreams and be true to yourself while you do it. I think it's such a big message that anybody can make good use of.